Today's the day. I will defeat you. This may hurt.
Welcome. This is Top Tier Tips. Greetings everyone, this is Force Nature of Top Tier Tips, and I welcome you to your prime spot for tips and tricks to help you level up at Dead or Alive 6. Alright, in this session we're going to be checking out Janley's #1 fan and the Tai Chi Chuan genius herself, Leifang. Alright, what is there to say about Leifang? She really has a big infatuation with Janley. I mean, like I know you want to kind of like prove yourself that you're like a strong fighter and everything, but like seriously, just ask him out and hope for the best. Leifang is the defensive queen of DOA, and DOA 6 is no exception. So if you like parries, sabakis, or shoulders, crushes, then Leifang may be the girl for you. So once you're done her command training, and combo challenge, the last one can really go to hell. Then you're ready to do what Leifang just did. Not quite. It may take a little bit more than that to bag yourself your own dragon. As I alluded to earlier, Leifang is a very well-rounded character. I mean, she's got like tons of defensive tools. She's got like parries, like they're like mid and high. She's got a parry stance. She's got sabakis, which are also known as like parry strikes, even as a new low sabaki, and of course she has shoulders. Alright, when playing Leifang, there are a few things I want you to keep in mind. Alright, first I'm just be focusing around the more straightforward playstyle for Leifang. Alright, this is just simply trying to fish for a stun right there with P2P. You have to delay the second hit a little bit in order to get the stun, or you don't really get the stun. This is on counter hit. There's also stuff like good old reliable elbow right there that gives you that's a I-12. That's your I-12 elbow, gives you about plus 20, like most elbows tend to do. There's also stuff like 1P. This move does have follow-ups. Right there, that's a good move. 1P. Also with 1PK gives you a juicy lift stun. Stuff like 1P, but that move has a different purpose than fishing for a counter hit stun. So those are just a few moves right there. I'm going to continue on with this, that in general, Leifang's poking game is fairly safe, thanks to moves like anything that ends in this move right here. This is 6XP. This is an I-14 mid punch with pretty good range. This is only -6 on block. That means the only possible punish attempt the opponent can go for is a free neutral throw attempt, but those throws are breakable by pressing the throw button. So really, and the damage from neutral throws isn't really that much from most non-grappler characters, so you really don't have to worry about that much. So in general, for -6 you can't really get punished that much or punished for it, so you could usually abuse this. Anything that ends in that move will get the same -6 safety. So I know there's a bunch of them, like 6PP, PP, 6PP, I think even back turn. Yeah, like anything like that, or let me see. Yeah, anything like that. So there's a bunch of options, right? So just remember, anything right there is -6, or for instance, anything that ends in that high punch, that will be -3. So those type of moves, you will be safe. To open up opponents with Leifang, apart from the aforementioned string delays or whatever, you can use stuff such as like PP, 2K. So this move will stun on normal hit or counter hit. This sweep here, 2H plus K, is a good low. So you can get out of the PP string. If the opponent thinks you're going to go for that, then you can stun them with PP, PP 6P. And to top it off, this move, even if let's say an opponent blocks this, you can go into your parry stance. Alright, keep in mind, that is called unshu, or unshu, I'll just get it called unshu. That stance catches all high punches or mid punches. So for opponents that try to retaliate with jabs or elbows, that move will catch them. So right there's a few options that you can do to your opponent. PP 2K, PP 6P, and of course I already showed you on block that is safe. So you can finish the string too if you want. The only concern there is either hold or everyone's favorite thing, the sidestep attack. Leifang also is a nice juicy tool for opening up defensive opponents. Her 6-6T. This move right here is an offensive hold. That is basically, well, it's called an offensive hold. It is DOA's form of a catch throw. A catch throw is simply a throw that beats out strikes. So if the opponent throws out moves or whatever, if you do this early enough, it will beat out the strikes and will end up getting high counter damage if it catches a strike. So pretty awesome. On normal hit, it deals 40 damage, and it is a 16 frame move, so it's really hard to react to. The opponent has to pretty much kind of guess when you're going to do it. But if they do guess right, they can beat you out with a throw for high counter damage of their own. But still, offensive holds can feel a little unintuitive to deal with. So like with Leifang, her 6-6T can be really abusable. And at a wall, you see it becomes even more dangerous where it causes the slump down situation where the opponent can't perform a wake-up kick or comeback kick as they're called in this game. At the beginning of a round with Leifang, also called round 1 fight, the opponent has to basically respect your tools. I'll let you know right now that the opponent always has to keep in mind that you can do her unshu stance at round 1 fight. So what this means is that effectively the opponent cannot jab you or 6P you at round 1 fight. If they do that, they're basically to do that on the read thinking that you won't do that. So because of the risk of that, so once you condition the opponent to respect that they stop kind of punching into it, then you can start getting aggressive on their, you can start getting like maybe a little aggressive on them, try and do stuff like punch, grab or anything that PP 2K. So basically you can be in control. You could try and fish for like a counter hit. This is just a normal hit. And remember, her elbows can also go into the unshu stance. But so essentially what this is meaning is that Leifang is generally in control at round 1 fight against most characters, solely because they have to, they basically have to respect things such as her unshu. I mean, if you're gonna be a complete dick, you can also do stuff like his shoulders, even though I mean these are unsafe, so they're less recommended. Only if you know the opponents to try and jab you, then you can try and like launch them with the shoulder, try and get like a small juggle after it or whatever. But the good thing to keep in mind is that Leifang is really good at conditioning her opponents, and a big key to winning with her is either, well, obviously making the correct reads, but also just basically making your opponent either scared to attack you or conditioning them to attack right into your traps. Alright, I just put on the move details box. Your best friend in DOA 6. Alright, I was mostly going over punch-related things with Leifang, so now I'm going to be going over some kick-related stuff right now. Alright, I'll let you know, Leifang has an 11-frame high kick. This is pretty uncommon in DOA 6. I think that Kasumi might be the only character that I've checked so far that has an 11-frame high kick. I don't think anyone else in DOA has an 11-frame high kick. That is really good. Alright, so it is, as you can see here, negative on normal hit, unsafe on block, but it does have follow-ups. See, you can do KK there, it's only -5 on block, so safe, track, and high follow-up. Or if you want a mid-safe follow-up, do K, H plus K. See there, also -5 on block, and it stomps on the opponent, so you can do it again, then do like a 2P, and you can end up like force teching the opponent, so that's always good. Then just party on them on the wall. It's always nice. So yeah, so Leifang's K is good. Oh, and it also has another juicy follow-up. See right there, just do K, 2K, then 4-6P. Right there, and you see you connect and you get 44 damage and then blast the opponent across the room, so that's always fun. Just to let you know, K2K is also, it's also kind of a nice kind of neutral poke. So yeah, it's a nice move. If you would like some, well, this move does, I mean, a second hit tracks, but if you want a single hit tracking move, 4Ks are going to be your go-to. Right here, 12 frame, high tracking kick, +3 on normal hit, plus -14 on block. That's because it has 2 potential follow-ups right here. So this is 4KK, 2K. All of them are unsafe. You can delay it a bit too right there, and it's all tracking. So you can use this to keep opponents in check who like to do the sidestep attack, apart from using throws or offensive holds, which also track. I'll end up showing you more about that one later. Yes, he has a bunch of offensive holds. But as for poking, well, I already said that 2H plus K is a good move. I'll just let you know you can also do 1K, 2K. But yeah, this sweep is just, not only is it good in close, it's also good from like mid-range. So it's a really nice move. Let's take a look at Leifang from around mid-range or further out. I'll let you know right now that Leifang's fighting style is not adept at fighting at range. She is not a ranged fighter, so generally with Leifang, you want to be fighting from no further out than about mid-range or closer. That is where she's effective. So one of Leifang's weaknesses is being zoned out or spaced out, so you don't really want that to happen to you. But if you are fighting from mid-range, some techniques you can use is, aside from trying to fish for 2H plus K, you can also use PP 2H plus K from there. And I'll show you a move that's actually really nice from mid-range, as opposed to trying to get into your get in on your opponent with 6-6P. So this will be your get in move, or run up 6-6T. From mid-range, you have an augment to your jab, which is 7P. It leads to the same string, but it covers more range, and the third hit is safe of 7 PPP, and if you press back, you can even go into her Unsho stance to be able to stuff any jab or elbow retaliation. So 7P is really nice, and you see all the same moves, so very nice move. I'll just let you know that her jab is only like light negative on block, but 7P is -6 if you just do a single one, but really you're usually fine just doing at least 2 or 3 going there. So yeah, I like 7P. Alright, I already showed you that K, 2K, or 4K, 2K. Both of these, they look similar. They're both good around mid-range though. Because when you hit the opponent, you can always blast them back, so that's always nice. If the opponent runs at you for anything, then smack him with 1 PP. I showed you earlier that this move does counter hit, and you can also fish for the new 1 PK move, which causes a lift stun. It even technically has a follow-up that hits the opponent on the ground. And yes, Leifang's 2P is really good for smacking people on the ground. It just goes really far, despite being a 15 frame low. That's only neutral on hit, but yeah, if you knock the opponent down, I love her 2P. And Leifang also has this move, which is a bit of a ranged low crush move. Her 6H plus K. The move is really slow at I think like 28 frames or something like that. It is only -3 on block, so unfortunately it's not a guard break like Hitomi's version, but again, if you have like the opponent in the corner or something like that, like you say you knock them down or something like that, and they're like off balance, and you could try and use this move to get in, but it is a bit slow and linear. But if it gets blocked and you're only -3, so you can end up just doing like a fuzzy guard, or well, preferably with 3-3-4, because 3-3-H can cause the parry by accident, and then you're in the opponent's face, and you could always do some shenanigans or whatever. And if the opponent whiffs anything on them, whack them with this, or you can also hit them with this too. And you can also use 6-6-KK and delay the second hit for a counter hit launch. Leifang's throw game is kind of interesting. Here, I'll just start with her 5-frame throw. Right here, it's a 2-part throw. If you do the full thing, you get 45 damage, but if you do just the first part, Leifang's left at +3. With +3, that means that Leifang's 13-frame mid-kick, 3K, becomes a frame trap. So if the opponent tries to like sidestep or whatever, then just do 6-6T, the offensive hold. Alright, now just moving along. Here she has her 7-frame throw, does 50 damage, can cause wall damage. She has 2 10-frame throws. Her first one does 56 damage, this is 4T, and her 4-6T. Let me just get it right here. Right there does 58 damage, so you might as well just do that one unless you don't really like the input. Then just either one is fine, but you get an extra 2 damage. And she has her 12 frame throw, which does 62 damage. There's about 99 on high counter. But that's actually the interesting throw. See if I can just get a nice little position in somewhere. If you have your back to the wall and you do the 12 frame throw, you see right there, her 12 frame throw, her quarter circle back T ends up leaving you at plus 17. So that means you can get guaranteed follow-ups. Here, let me show you a little something with it. Two on 4T is very deadly in the corner. Now let's look at Leifang's special throws, the offensive holds. Alright, you already know about the goodness that is 6-6T, so I don't really have to tell you much about that. 40 frames, 40 damage, 16 frames. As a walled version, gets an extra 10 damage plus a wall slump that provides you with some significant advantage. So for there, you can end up pressuring again. Or just use like Leifang's. Just use your usual pokes, and of course if you wall slam the opponent, it was 6 feet and you can use that as like a little wall juggle. But now for Leifang's other offensive hold, her quarter circle T, her 20 frame offensive hold, it's a 3-part hold, starts out like that. It has 2 enders, so it's a 2-3-6T, 4T, then 4-4T right there. It does about 90 damage on normal, that's just a normal hold. But there's another ender too. Alright, that's 2-3-6T, 4T, then 4-6T. It only does, I think, about 85 damage on normal hit, but as you see right there, it can also slam the person into the wall, so it's a nice offensive hold. So if someone does whiff something right in front of you, then you can try and snatch that for the damage right there if you want heftier damage than doing a 6-6T. Leifang only has one formal low throw. That's her 5-frame punish throw. Just gives her 50 damage, sends the opponent away, and creates a lot of space, which I admit under most circumstances you don't necessarily want to do with Leifang. She's not a spacing character. But the reason why she only has one low throw is because her other throw is a low offensive hold. You see right here? Low offensive hold grab, and it's tracking. It's 10 frames as opposed to usually 7 frames. So, same properties as any low offensive hold. The opponents do any sort of like low attacks or anything like this, this move will end up beating up. I'll let you know, the main beauty of low offensive holds is to stuff crouching stances, such as like Christie's Jakayo stance, or like Bayman's tank wheel, tank roll move. Basically any kind of like crouching stance or anything, low offensive holds are really good at it. Even against Ayane's own spinning, this will beat it out. And now for Leifang's most unique throw, her Unsho throw. You see right here, this bad boy is an offensive hold that comes out of her stance and leaves her at plus 28. So at plus 28, you basically get a free follow-up. For the follow-up that I recommend is her S, Fatal Stun. You know why I recommend that one? 1 Fatal Stun, 2 Fatal Stuns. So look at that. Juicy damage. And of course you can get Leifang's Unsho throw off of different moves and strings, like 6P, PP, 6P, PPP. See, lots of different ways to do it as opposed to just 4P plus K. So yeah, this parry stance is really dangerous. I mean, like, don't tell Leifang's opponents, but if Leifang does this, like, immediately, like, kick her in the face, or 2P her, because of course if you punch into it, you're just gonna get parried. So yeah, I mean, it's weak to being kicked in the face. But other than that, if you kind of see that the opponent's kind of, if you condition your opponent to be kind of scared to push buttons, then you can actually sneak this in pretty easily. That's right, it's time for Leifang's hold game. Alright, apart from the shoulder, The other reason why you'd probably consider playing Leifang is because of her holds. Like, I won't even bother showing any of the normal holds. I'll just go straight into the good stuff, the expert holds. Look at that. Lots of juicy damage right there. Let's see if I can even get this bad boy on high counter. This counter hold. Look at that damage on high counter, like 40%. And now, right now, I'll just show you. Alright, I'll show the mid kick going. This one's actually decent on normal. See right here? It gives you a decent amount of frame advantage to be able to get a guaranteed follow-up. Just show right here, that plus 15. But if you do the expert hold, it gives you the same plus 15, but you get an extra 20 damage. Let me show you a little something with it. As you saw right there, that hold's called the party time hold for Leifang. You can get it with both her 6H, the normal mid kick hold, or her 4-6-8, which is her expert hold, and you see it has a different animation right there. For the expert mid punch hold, it's forward back, or 6-4-H right there. And that one gets the extra damage. Hold. Although I will let you know that if you have your like back to the wall, then the normal mid punch hold can actually still do a lot of damage. Like, I'll just show you just that one, because that one is also dangerous in corners. Again, that's high counter damage right there. I mean, if you actually just want to see how much damage it actually did, 120 damage. Wow. So if you do either a normal punch hold or the expert punch hold in the corner, you get a crap ton of damage. But the expert punch hold does a crap ton of damage even in open space. So yeah, that's like really good. So yeah, I mean, Leifang's I just set this up. Leifang's expert holds are incredibly dangerous. I mean, basically, one kind of strategy you can have as Leifang is you can catch opponent's punches with this, and just anytime you think the opponent's gonna do a mid kick, just do her expert mid kick hold, and you get a ridiculous amount of damage. And again, the same limbo stun combo that I did works with both the normal one or the expert hold. So if an opponent punches into your unshu, you'll be at veritable advantage. You see, it can vary a bit, but usually just go for an option. I like the kick option because you can get a free launcher attempt with a nice stun, or the throw option's also pretty good. So, and I already showed you the goodness you can get off that. Some other stuff you can do is a punch, which you can lead into unshu again. And you also have a low kick option out there, but generally the kick is generally the nicest one with that gigantic gut stun it gives you. If you were to parry the mid punch, you're left at plus 16. Leifang also has a couple interesting other strikes I might have showed you. She has a couple sabakis. If I can just get the right timing. See right there. Alright, if you look on the bar, look at this. The first one in brackets, 10 frames. That means there's a 10 frame window, and the actual attack is 2 active frames. And yes, the AI is very overzealous with attacking. So when you... Alright, that's the wrong one. That was 4P quick. So when you use 6P plus K, it's a mid attack, so a mid punch that catches all mid attacks. She also has a high one, which is her 4-4P, right there. And for any low, and if the opponent does any lows or anything like that, you see this one here, which can go under highs and avoids right there. So she has like a low parry, a low sabaki also. So yeah, lots of defensive tools to work with. All right, just as a recap, I'll show you. 6P plus K is a mid punch that parries all mid punches and mid kicks. 4-4P is a high punch that parries all mid punches and mid kicks. 3H is just a straight up mid punch mid kick parry. 9H is a high punch high kick parry, and 236P or 214P ends up parrying lows. So this move is a pretty evasive mid punch in itself. It takes a step back and go under stuff. So yeah, Leifang, see, I mean, just such good defensive stuff. She also has expert holds on all 3 levels. But you notice how right now for standard holds is called 4-way hold. So you have a high hold, mid punch, mid kick hold, and low hold. Expert holds are 6-way. So you have high punch, high kick, mid punch, mid kick, and low punch, low kick. Right here, if I end up showing you the command list, just scroll over to holds. You see, normal holds are just single direction, but expert holds are all double direction. So you see, high punch is would end up being 6-7H. High kick will be 4-9H. Mid punch is just 6-4. Mid kick is 4-6H, and lows, for instance, is like 6-1H for mid punch or low punch, and 4-3H is like low kick. I'll let you know that the low ones and the high ones are really awkward directions. So, and because you have to call out the low punch or low kick, I'll say straight up, I don't really recommend the high expert holds or low expert holds. The one I definitely, but I do recommend the expert mid punch hold and expert mid, especially the expert mid kick hold, because those are really dangerous. But the low ones are, unless you really know the opponents to do a low punch or low kick, like it's just simply an awkward animation. And of course it's hard, it can be a bit tricky to remember the directions unless you really practice them. But if you do feel comfortable doing the motion, and you can practice them. But the main reason, of course, why I recommend just doing a normal high or a low hold is so you don't have to guess it's a punch or kick, just high or low. But for mid punch or mid kick, you already have to guess if it's a punch or kick. So those are the two that I recommend practicing, that you get down. And because the expert kick hold is basically party time. When the opponent has their back to the wall slam with 6 XP. 14 frame mid punch, -6 on block, always a safe option. You can also wall slam with the 11 frame high kick, or if you want the small wall slam DOA 4 style, use 3K. Alright, let me get close enough. Then you can get a small juggle. Pretty hefty damage right there. When you do wall slam the opponent, follow it with PP6 PP. You can also do PP6 PK if you're afraid the punch will drop. But another thing you can also follow up with is you can also go for her bound move, 1 PKK, and get pretty hefty damage right there, because as you can tell, bounds are really nice. Alright guys, that's it for now. Alright, just some things to keep in mind when playing Leifang. Alright, for the kind of focus I want you to have in a match is either trying to fish for a counter hit stun. You mean that 6P, 3K, P, 2Ps, like different things like that. So that's one way of playing her. You can also like play safe strings on the opponent's block. So anything that ends in this is safe. And of course, certain moves like the elbow or PP, 6P, PP, all can end up going into unshu. If the opponent is not being adept at stuffing your unshu, then then remember to go for the throw to open up the opponent. You can also go for the low option too, which is also good. But that's basically if you want to play a more offensive Leifang. And of course 6T or low sweeps are good for opening up the opponent. But the other type of playstyle to keep in mind with Leifang is trying to make the opponent either get impatient or like make mistakes. So what you can do, of course, is try and frustrate your opponent to fight in the way that you want. And the way that also to try and like kind of frustrate the opponent is to like knock them back with like 4-6P, which is a high crushing shoulder. I mean, it is -12 on block, but generally what I mean though is like do something that's maybe like, I don't know, just do something like an elbow or something that's like safe on. Do something that's like safe on block. Then just like if they retaliate with jabs, then you can just like shoulder them. And so if the opponents get hit by this quite a few times, it will annoy the hell out of them. So that's another thing you can like do with Leifang. I know it feels really scummy, and some people may call you a scumbag, but that is another playstyle. And the third playstyle is more so just about kind of conditioning. Like it's simply trying to get the opponent to, let's say you just do PP 6P on block. And then when you think the opponent's gonna retaliate, then you can catch their jab or what is something with your parry stance. Or if you know the opponent's gonna retaliate with the mid, then you have 3H. You have 6P plus K, 4P plus K. So Leifang can be really good at kind of controlling the opponent's response. I mean, with the combination of different kind of parries, sabakis, shoulders, I mean, like Leifang has lots of tools to basically control your opponent. So I mean, like, I'll let you know this right now. If your opponent feels like they can't do anything to you, you're doing a good job with Leifang. Anyways, that's it for now. If you have any further questions about anything, feel free to contact me on my YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, so that means leaving a comment down below. You can also contact Force of Nature on freestepdodge.com, and also be sure to check out my other guides, both the top tiers advanced guides and the other characters guides, to get a nice little neat look at this awesome game that is called DOA 6. And if you'd like to support the channel, feel free to join Top Tier Fighters. The support does help. But anyways, this is Force of Nature signing off. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Top Tier Tips.